All right, everybody, welcome to a chilly start to the Doe and 5-0 show. Somebody didn't turn on the heat earlier.
Well, it's on now. You know, it should be warmed up just in time for us to leave.
Yeah, I'm sure. It'll help my flu-like symptoms immensely being in here today.
Hopefully they'll freeze and stay over there.
All right, everybody. Well, we're going to roll things off with a headline from Denny's. Joe, you remember Denny's?
Yeah.
It used to be a pretty popular restaurant chain. We don't have any close by here that I'm aware of.
Oh, yeah. We had a country kitchen back home.
I remember those.
The same kind of place. Waffle House. They're all 24 hours where drunk people go and throw up and eat carbs.
Yeah. Kokomo's the next biggest town around us, really. They used to have a Denny's. They closed at least 10 years ago, if not longer, but used to be a pretty, same thing you say, you know, drunk people go there and old people because they had the senior citizen specials and stuff like that.
That'd be perfect for me now. I wish they'd open back up.
I always liked Denny's. I kind of miss having it. So, good news for people that have a Denny's close by. You can now get married at free for Denny's this Valentine's Day.
Wait, people go to Denny's? And first of all, it's kind of embarrassing to go to Denny's. Where'd you eat? I don't know. I don't remember. But now you got married there?
This is coming from a guy that frequents Bob Evans. You've reached that stage in your life where you're old.
I am old.
And you eat at old people places.
What's that other one? You like it too, in Kokomo way on the south side.
Cracker Barrel?
Cracker Barrel. I love that place. So do you, so shut up.
I don't love it, but I do. You know, I actually blow my mom a lot of crap and my wife because, like, anytime my mom wants to go out to eat, it's Cracker Barrel or Mexican food every single time.
Ooh, I can't do the Mexican food anymore.
And she actually wore me out on Cracker Barrel. It's never been my favorite breakfast place, mostly because if I sit down for breakfast, like a sit-down breakfast, I really like fried potatoes. Some version of it anyway, hash browns.
Right.
And I hate Cracker Barrel's
cheesy
potatoes. Whatever.
Oh my gosh, those are great.
Sarah loves them.
I love the atmosphere. You go in there and it's really neat. All the older stuff that's hanging around. That huge fireplace they've got. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't despise it. I just like I said, if I go down for a nice sit-down breakfast, I always like to get a nice crispy fried potato of some kind. Right. And you can't get that there. It's whatever their potatoes.
Well, there's a McDonald's just a little bit away from that. Why don't you just go grab something and bring it back?
We've had plenty of horror stories out at McDonald's. I try not to frequent there as much as possible. So.
You could get some ice cream over there. That always works.
As usual, we've gone completely way off topic here. What we're doing at Denny. Okay. So, your wedding day is supposed to be the best day of your life, correct? But how can it be when it basically takes a small mortgage to make it happen? Well, unless you want to wind up broke and eating overpriced chicken breast at your reception, Denny's has the answer for you. They're debuting a pop-up chapel for couples to get married for free on Valentine's Day this year. So save all that money on a honeymoon and eat something you really want. Pancakes does equal romance, folks.
Yeah, I've always said that.
Between noon and 6 on February 14th,
there's
2020.
A time limit.
The diner.
Invite all your friends.
The diner-style chain is opening a wedding chapel in Las Vegas, complete with an on-site officiant and a live DJ. The reception also includes complimentary wedding pancake puppies and a champagne toast. And because it wouldn't be a wedding without your cousins drinking too much and telling unfiltered stories about your childhood, Denny's is offering a cash bar with $2, $4, $6, and $8 drink specials.
That's great. I think that's just a fantastic idea.
They actually offer a year-round wedding package that's still way cheaper than your local reception hall. For 200 smackaroos, you get the chapel space, a photo booth, silk presentation bouquet, and a boutonniere in your choice of red, white, pink, or yellow. The wedding pancake puppies cake, a champagne toast, commemorative T-shirts, and the best part, 2 original Grand Slam breakfasts.
Well,
you know, White Castle's got to step up their game because when I go through Kokomo, they always have advertised, book your Valentine's Day.
You think Burger King and Mickey D's are going to start doing this stuff too? That's, wow.
Good for you, Denny's. I'm sure there'll be plenty of hillbillies.
There will be. As much as we're going to make fun of it, they're going to be packed. Come on, honey, let's get hitched.
Out of Minneapolis, Minnie
Mouse, Appleus.
Listen, I've got the man flu, so I'm going to make more mistakes than usual. So it's going to be pretty brutal this week. So. Wow. Minneapolis firefighters rescued a man who attempted to walk across the frozen Mississippi River early Saturday morning.
Wait, does it ever freeze completely?
Yeah, it probably does in Minnesota. Huh. Well, at least the top layer, I imagine, does. So.
Yeah, not the layer he went across, apparently.
The incident happened around 3 a.m. near Stone Arch Bridge, where the man was partially submerged. The man told the rescuing firefighters that Google Maps told him to cross the river. The Minneapolis Fire Department says the app most likely told him to cross the Stone Arch Bridge, not actually walk across the river.
Likely.
He was treated for hypothermia and released.
Wow.
I can just picture that. Oh, map says cross here.
You've done Googles before that tell you
Yeah.
to take a left here, and you're going, well, it's a forest. There's no place to go.
Yeah.
I love these stories because, as dumb as I am, sometimes I just feel a little smarter after you read these.
Here we go. A pot Sasquatch covered in marijuana leaf crashes a live news report during a snowstorm.
Wait, a real Sasquatch? Or...
Here we go.
All right.
Load the video.
No idea what to make of this one. A reporter just up the road in Springfield, Massachusetts was in for a surprise while going live during yesterday's storm.
Hey, it's live TV. Take a look. A Sasquatch covered in marijuana leaves wandered into the reporter's live shot.
There it is.
There it is. Creeping along.
This is in Mass. It's the Mass Squatch.
Oh.
It's pot. It's the grass squatch. How about that?
She didn't realize it until she stepped out of the frame to show the snowy road behind her, and then the Sasquatch. He fell down into the snow.
And he goes to hide behind the bush.
There are so many tubes that
They
we
can't
can
see me.
read right now.
Oh, that would be fun. I'd do that.
The Sasquatch, I mentioned it one time, and it's just coming out of the woodworks now.
Yeah. Sasquatch coming out of the woodwork.
Man steals longboard because his mom won't give him money. Out of Salt Lake City, Utah, Salt Lake man is facing a felony charge after police say he stole a longboard because his mother refused to give him the money to buy one. Vincent Chacon, age 32, was charged Tuesday.
Age 32, his mommy wouldn't give him money
Yeah.
to buy one?
He was
Wow.
charged Tuesday in 3rd District Court with aggravated robbery, which is a first-degree felony. According to court documents, Chacon walked into City Creek Center wearing a ski mask last Friday. He picked up a longboard valued at $190 and started walking out the store. When the assistant manager tried to stop him, Chacon said, "Don't get shot," several times while reaching into his pocket. The assistant manager then let go of the board and Chacon left the store. The incident was captured on the store's surveillance cameras. The next day, Chacon turned himself into police, according to the probable cause affidavit. When interviewed by officers, Chacon said that he took the board because mommy would not give him the money to purchase the board. He is a documented gang member. Back in 2014, Chacon was charged with 2 counts of aggravated robbery after allegedly robbing 2 people and firing 2 shots in the process. No one was injured in that case. The case was later dismissed after prosecutors said that they were unable to proceed.
He's a gang member?
Gang member.
He's a gangbanger that didn't get money from mommy to get his longboard. And where was that? I missed that.
Salt
it's
Lake City.
okay.
Salt Lake City.
Okay.
New gas station employee allegedly steals $17,000 on his very first day of work.
It was a good day.
Gas station employee allegedly made off with more than $17,000 in cash, cigarettes, and lottery tickets on his first day. The incident happened in late January at the Go On gas station in Hamden, Connecticut, when management hired a new overnight employee to run the station on his own. However, when the store owner utilized an app on his phone to view the store security cameras and check in on how his new employee was doing, he was shocked to find that his new employee was nowhere to be seen. The owner quickly ascertained that the new employee had left. The store owner immediately responded to the store and ascertained that the new employee had stolen numerous items, including lottery tickets, 89 boxes of smokes, and money. Holy cow, 89 cartons of cigarettes.
And he did that before his shift was over.
Yeah. The total
He's an
loss
overachiever.
Total loss is valued at $17,183. To make matters worse, the suspect also managed to steal his employment folder with all of his personal information in it, meaning that the store owner not only has no way to identify the man, but doesn't even know the name of his former employee.
Well, the name he was given anyway. Yeah. Wow.
God, he doesn't even know the guy's name before he let him go for the first day.
I've done it a million times, okay? I'm not judging.
Man, they got that much cash on hand that he had access to. That's crazy.
Well, hell, the 89 cartons of cigarettes would be almost 17,000 by itself, wouldn't it? Isn't that like
Those are
gold?
expensive. Yeah. Oregon man pretends to be a cop, seizes drugs from dealers he used to patronize. Oregon man faces criminal charges after police say he pretended to be a cop and stole meth and heroin from a known drug house where he had previously been one of their customers. Jordan Fleming, age 29, donned a bogus badge and served a fake search warrant to a woman he knew at the home in December. Fleming left with drugs and cash, according to the police report. He made her give up all her stuff. As for the woman, she called the police. Yes, the real ones. Police arrested Fleming on Sunday and booked him into the Lane County Jail. He pled not guilty this week to multiple criminal counts, including second-degree robbery, possession of false law enforcement identification, and impersonating a police officer. Let's just say he was preying on clientele he's actually a part of. Lewis said police may also seek criminal charges against the residents of the suspected drug house.
Don't drug houses usually have a lot of cameras around?
Some of them do, at least on the outside, because they want to see the 5-0 rolling up on them.
Right.
So. 2 Arkansas chemistry professors are charged for making meth inside their classroom.
This keeps happening.
Charges have officially been filed against former chemistry professors David Bateman, age 45, and Dr. Bradley Rowland, age 40, for manufacturing meth, possession, including advanced penalties for manufacturing meth in a drug-free zone. According to court documents,
aren't all zones drug-free zones?
According to court documents, back in December of 2019, the Clark County Sheriff's Office received information from HSU's legal team that 2 of the professors were acting in a way that led such faculty members to believe that these persons were involved in some sort of illegal activity. Documents also state that the suspects exhibited weight loss and were extremely guarded about who was in their laboratories and when. Back in October, the Reynolds Science Center building on the campus was evacuated and closed after an undetermined chemical odor was reported.
I know what it was.
Yeah, 3 weeks after the building was closed, Reynolds was reopened after a third-party environmental services company tested the building and indicated the Science Center met all EPA recommendations.
Teachers aren't paid enough, so perhaps that's just a little...
It
What
worked
does
for a long
Kathy
time.
always call that? A side hustle. It's a little side hustle.
Side gig. Woman arrested for biting off part of a man's tongue while making out with him. Out of Centerline, Michigan, Detroit area woman is facing charges after she bit off part of a man's tongue while kissing last week. According to WDIV-TV, 52-year-old Eulette Wedgeworth was engaged in consensual kissing with a friend at their apartment when police say she bit off about an inch of the man's tongue.
Oh my gosh.
Officers arrived to find the man bleeding from his mouth and found a piece of the tongue in the bedroom. I believe this is the first case of this nature in my 27 years in the prosecutor's office. Wedgeworth was arrested on a charge of misdemeanor aggravated assault. She's being held in lieu of a $25,000 bail.
That guy wasn't right anyway. If you show her picture up there, he shouldn't have had his tongue in her mouth anyway.
She's a little rough around the edges. Let's see.
Did they show him?
No, they didn't show him.
Yeah, we're gonna show your picture on here. I'm embarrassed.
Sex offender arrested for trying to pay a prostitute with a hamburger. A New Mexico man was arrested in a prostitution sting after he allegedly agreed to pay an undercover cop a Chili's hamburger in exchange for sexual favors last Tuesday.
Wait, did it work?
I don't know.
Oh.
According to criminal complaint, 36-year-old Dominic Calderon rode a bicycle up to an undercover APD officer posing as a prostitute in the area. The complaint states after agreeing on terms of a price, Calderon asked for the officer's phone number because he wasn't going to have enough money until Friday. He then asked for a phone number so he could enjoy your services late, according to the police report.
I will gladly pay you Tuesday for sex today.
The officer noticed that Calderon was carrying a bag from Chili's, according to the report, and asked him what was inside. He told her that it was a cheeseburger from Chili's. At that point, the officer proposed that her fee could be the burger instead of cash. Compared to the original $80 agreed on, Chili's burgers cost anywhere between $9.59 and $10.99. It's a bit of an undersell.
That's entrapment, damn it.
Yeah, Calderon agreed to the new price and asked the officer to meet him at his home, but he was soon arrested by waiting authorities. He was booked on patronizing a prostitute, and the evidence, possibly including the burger, was tagged by authorities. I'm not sure if it ever made it to the evidence room.
That stuff always disappears, doesn't it? No sense wasting this.
That's all we got for this week in news. Stay tuned for This Week in Florida.
In Florida, the teachers are crazy. You have to be to answer that call. There are many ways to handle that tension. This teacher's answer, a delivered 8-ball. What the hell is with Florida? Where all crazy shit seems to come from. A week won't pass by without lots of stories proving that Florida's dumb.
All right, everybody, welcome to This Week in Florida. We're going to start out in Naples, Florida this week, Joe, where a woman exposes herself in a restaurant, in which time her husband also asked to go to jail, too. Last night on February 4th, Naples police officers arrested a woman for disorderly intoxication and then arrested her husband, too, because he told the cops that he wanted to go to jail with her. Lori Salo, age 49, and her husband, Peter, age 51, were arguing with a bartender at the Dock restaurant in downtown Naples. A bartender at the restaurant was upset that Mrs. Salo for putting her feet on the bar and showing underneath her skirt. She put her feet on the bar and she was fully exposed, and at that point I asked them both if they could leave. I took their drinks and asked them to leave the facility. Hayes told the couple that he'd call the police if they refused to go, and the couple responded by yelling vulgar and racist comments at the bartender. She was saying how disgraceful I was, look at my filthy black self, and things of that nature. During the argument, Mrs. Salo said, I don't have to go anywhere because my dad is the chief of police. Ooh. During the argument, Mr. Salo tried to get his wife out of the restaurant and back to their hotel room that was in the building next door. A Naples police officer arrived, but Mrs. Salo kept refusing to leave. She began grabbing at the officer's hand and asked him to take her to jail. When the officer was escorting Mrs. Salo to the parking lot, he told her that going back to the restaurant was a one-way ticket to jail. Trying to get Mrs. Salo to cooperate, she grabbed him by the arm and tried walking towards their hotel. Then Mr. Salo asked the officer, will you just walk my wife up to her room and sing her a silly song and a lullaby? Shortly thereafter, Mrs. Salo was put into handcuffs and was walking towards the patrol car when her husband said, if she's going, I want to go too. And then he began to act in a radical and irrational manner so the cops would arrest him as well. That was granted. Both were booked into the Naples County Jail.
I love happy endings. They got exactly what they wanted. It's beautiful. They're
they
probably
gotta
on
stay
vacation there, and that's really nice. They could get... I wonder if they're married at Denny's.
Well, I don't know. Well, that's until February 14th.
They seem the type.
Florida man calls the police department to report being shot at by the man he robbed and stabbed out of Boynton Beach.
Bastard!
Police say a Florida man dialed the department to report he was being shot at by a man that he had just robbed and stabbed. Boynton PD said Victor Morale called them Saturday night to report that someone shot at him twice. According to the police report, Morale, age 30, had met the man at a gay social app, Grindr, and knew from the others that the unidentified man dealt drugs. Morale told officers that he went to the man's apartment intending to make some money off of him. WPTV reports that the men got into an argument at the apartment and Morale struck the man in the head, causing him to fall to the ground. Morale then grabbed a briefcase filled with methamphetamine and struck the victim again before running out the front door. The victim grabbed the knife and chased after Morale outside the apartment. Morale struck the victim with a bag full of drugs and the gun fell out. The man dropped the knife and fell to the ground. Morale then grabbed the knife and stabbed the man who had grabbed the gun. The man then fired two shots at Morale as he drove away, hitting the windshield and the driver's side window. Morale was charged with robbery and aggravated battery. Jail records show he remained in custody on Sunday.
Wait, he got away and then he called the police?
Yeah.
What?
On himself.
Dumbass. Wow, I thought maybe he was stuck someplace and he was afraid for his life. So he got away and nothing would have happened to him.
Well, you know, he probably needed an insurance report for his damage to his car.
Well, yeah.
Just a whole lot of stuff was going wrong for that guy. That's the story.
He didn't think this through.
Yeah.
And usually people on meth are so clear-headed.
Florida woman stuns her husband with a taser after he asked her for a divorce. Look at that beauty.
Well.
Out of Clearwater, Florida, a Florida woman responded to her husband's request for a separation by shocking him with a stun gun. Pamela Carr, age 69, was arrested Sunday at her Clearwater mobile home and charged with aggravated domestic battery, according to the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office report.
We've been there before.
Many times. Carr and her husband got into an argument Sunday morning after he told her he wanted to end their marriage of 9 years. At some point, Carr pulled out her taser and stunned her husband several times at close range, rather than shooting him with the barbed darts. Deputies said that Carr admitted to stunning her husband, but claimed that it was in self-defense. She was released from jail last Monday on a $1,000 bond in order to stay away from her husband. She'll be allowed one visit with a law enforcement escort to relieve her personal belongings at the mobile home community. And she's currently being represented by the Public Defender's Office. So we got her picture up there for you guys to see. Don't marry her.
In case you were
once she's
thinking
single
about
again. Woman sues company after she won a Toy Yoda that turned out to be a Toy Yoda. The force is not strong with this one. 26-year-old Jody Berry worked at a popular restaurant at Hooters. In order to drum up some competition between the staff, managers decided to start up a competition to see who could sell the most beer in a month. The winner was to receive a new Toyota. Jody won the competition, outselling all of her coworkers. To claim her prize, Jody was blindfolded and led to the restaurant's parking lot. But when the blindfold was removed, Jody was devastated to find that the prize was in fact not a Toy Yoda automobile, but rather a Toy Yoda Star Wars doll.
Oh my!
Jody quit her job at the Panama City Beach Hooters and decided
Probably
to sue
the
her
best
former
job
employees.
she's ever had too.
She has won the suit and settled for an undisclosed amount of money. However, one of the lawyers in the case said the amount could easily have had her go to the car dealership to pick out whatever type of Toyota she wants.
Well, I thought that was funny.
I personally would like to see the look on her face when she thought she was getting a car.
Oh yeah, that had to be kind of. Did she sell her old car thinking she was driving away in a new one? I wonder what happened. She
I
seemed.
mean, I'm a Star Wars fan. I'd been pretty happy.
You'd have liked that.
I already got a car. All right. Florida troopers find drugs in a bag labeled "bag full of drugs."
Didn't John send this to us?
I've got this from several people this week.
Okay, I saw. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't. Out of Santa Rosa County, Florida, the Florida Highway Patrol says they arrested 2 alleged drug traffickers.
Wait, alleged?
Alleged.
They had a bag
They've
that
not
said
been found
bag
guilty
full
in
of
court
drugs.
yet. They arrested 2 alleged drug traffickers after troopers pulled them over and found multiple drugs in a bag labeled "bag full of drugs."
Bag old drugs.
When they searched the car, troopers found meth, GHB, which is also known as the date rape drug, cocaine, MDMA, and fentanyl. Note to all you local drug dealers: do not traffic your illegal narcotics in bags labeled "bag full of drugs."
So they were in the proper bags. They weren't in unlabeled bags.
They were properly marked in the bag full of drugs.
Good for them.
At least they were trying to make it easy.
That's right.
That's all we got for this week in Florida. Stay tuned for This Week in Political Garbage. All right, everybody, welcome to This Week in Political Garbage. Man, I am just struggling with everything I say.
You're having a hard
It's
time
bad.
today. You're pretty sick, though.
We got several stories for Political Garbage this week, Joe, so how to make your day.
Good.
We're going to start off with the driver in Florida. I was on the fence between this being a Florida story and a political story, but kind of
We had so many Florida already.
Driver in Florida plows into a van into GOP voter registration tent, nearly hitting 6 volunteers. Authorities in Florida were searching Saturday night for a driver who they claimed drove his van into a Republican Party voter registration tent in a shopping center. The suspect, described as a white man in his 20s, then got out of the vehicle and recorded video of the smashed tent, flashed the middle finger to the startled voter registration volunteers before driving off. Photos posted by the Republican Party of Duval County showed Trump pins, placards, and bumper stickers strewn about the parking lot, along with the toppled tent. Another photo showed an older model brown and tan van driving away from the scene. This goes on for a little bit longer, but the reason I booked this is obviously because...
So wouldn't that would be like, if you'd have killed those people, that's like a mass killing, right?
Yeah.
With a car.
Yeah.
Therefore, shouldn't cars be outlawed?
Maybe.
Everyone should have their car taken away from them.
So the very tolerant left, as they like to say themselves.
They are not tolerant, okay? They are not tolerant. They are angry. They are very angry people.
They are angry people.
But the problem is they don't have guns.
Yeah.
So they can't do anything.
They're going to have
about
a hell of a time winning the next Civil War. I'm just saying.
Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah. Did you see the halftime Super Bowl show?
I saw
Any
little
clips of it?
parts of it, yeah.
A lot of controversy, right? Because of the way the girls were scantily clad and...
Like the cheerleaders are all the time.
Christian activist wants to sue the NFL over Jennifer Lopez and Shakira's halftime show, saying it put him in a danger of hellfire. Reactions to this year's Super Bowl halftime show were mixed, as usual. However, some have shown to be more upset with the performance from Shakira and Jennifer Lopez than others. Such is the case with Dave Daubenmire, a right-wing activist who's threatening to sue the NFL over the broadcast because he believes it put his religious standings in peril. I think we ought to sue, he says on his podcast. Pass the salt. Pass
What?
the salt? Would that halftime show been rated PG? Were there any warnings that your 12-year-old son, whose hormones are just starting to operate, was there any warning that what he was going to see might cause him to get sexually excited?
And wait, would this have been bad?
Well, maybe a case of Daubenmire simply venting his frustrations. He did sketch out his legal strategy.
Strategy.
Maybe we should just skip the show altogether this week. And
No, I think it's pretty good.
I think we ought to sit down in a courtroom and present this as evidence of how whoever is behind the halftime show is keeping me from getting into the kingdom of heaven, he said.
They show it at court, and the judge excuses himself.
We're going to take a 15-minute break.
And the lawyers all go take cold showers. And
anyway, I mean, this guy kind of rambles on for a little bit, but, we've covered ridiculous lawsuits in the past, right?
yeah.
He's wanting to go after the NFL, Jennifer Lopez and Shakira. Would you think you would see big dollar signs? You would think big dollar signs.
I would think.
He's suing them for $867 trillion.
That's great. I'm sure he's going to win. See, and that's an example of the crazy right side. Uh-oh.
See, everything's going wrong, man. This probably stopped recording like a half an hour ago.
We can only hope.
We have not talked about your favorite batshit crazy Democrat in a while.
Which one? Which one?
Alexandria or Ocasio-Cortez or whatever the hell she calls herself. I don't even know how to say her name. Cortez received criticism.
So crazy. Or
AOC
something?
is what we call her because we can't pronounce her name.
Something crazy, yeah.
AOC received criticism for claiming her family just might have starved if they had to endure new revisions to the food stamp program under current President Trump.
Oh, yeah, because don't they have to prove that they're looking for work?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, we don't get it either. It's so unlike AOC to completely fabricate stories to make an absurd political point of view. The USDA on Wednesday finalized the first set of series of tighter restrictions on the Supplemental Nutrition Program, also known as SNAP, limiting states from relaxing steady employment standards for able-bodied adults. My family relied on food stamps when my dad died at just the age of 48. I was a student, the New York Socialist claimed. Socialist? If this happened then, we might have just starved. Now many people will. It's shameful how the GOP works overtime and creates freebies for the rich while dissolving lifelines of those who need it the most. Freebies for the rich. That's not Bernie's plan at all.
No. I guess I don't know everything. I thought it was just that they were making you actually look for a job because right now unemployment rate's at what, 4%? So there are jobs out there. I don't know, you'd have to tell me, but if you are working, and I realize you're not always going to get that $35 an hour job, but if you're getting that $8 an hour job, you still get a supplemental, right? Okay. Then those jobs are open all over. Everybody's hiring.
Well,
the police force is hiring.
Yeah. That's all across the country. I mean, law enforcement agencies, we can't even get people in the door, qualified people to get in the door.
Right.
Obviously, we're getting shot at all the time.
Yeah.
Just before we shot the show today, I don't know if you saw that there was a mass shooting in Arkansas at a Walmart there.
Oh, no.
2 cops were shot. I don't know the status of them yet, but
oh, wow.
It's every day you read about headlines where.
Well, I wouldn't want to be.
It was early in the week where an officer in New York City was shot. I don't know if you saw that. Shot in his patrol car. He's just sitting in there doing paperwork in his car in point blank range. So.
Wow.
It's hard to get. I understand why it's hard to get people to stand up for the cause, but.
Yeah, I wouldn't. No way. And every time you try to do your job, you're hated.
Well, anyway, AOC thinks her constituents would rather milk the system than obtain employment when they're actually capable.
No wonder Bernie likes her so much.
You see, the new rule applies to only childless, able-bodied individuals under the age of 50. The Heritage Foundation quickly called...
That doesn't even fit her. That doesn't even fit her thing.
Yeah. The rule applies to able-bodied adults between the ages of 18 and age 49 who do not have dependents, they wrote. The rule wouldn't apply to parents with minor children, the elderly, or the disabled.
So what the hell is she talking about
She doesn't
then?
know. She never knows.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Here's one of my favorites to talk about. We seem to talk about it every week. So, President Trump had his State of the Union address last week, correct?
Very appalling.
Yeah, so appalling. So, for those...
Not what he said. I mean, the reaction of the Democrats.
So, basically just the reaction of the Democrats alone. For people that... Even people that don't really care for him or his politics...
Right.
They really gave him really good reviews on the speech. I didn't watch it live. I kind of watched it the next day. He hit on a lot of everything about it was positive,
Right.
Everything about it was positive. I mean, he was talking about, anyway, some guy narrated, it's just a couple paragraphs long. I thought he did a really good job of describing what we saw at the very end. Obviously, we saw Pelosi take the copy of the speech and tear it up to shreds. I don't have the video here, but if you actually go back and watch the video, She puts this into 3 different stacks, this speech. So, and she's looking towards the camera, so she wants to make sure the camera catches her shredding, picking this up and shredding it at some point. So, all right, so I'm going to read this post this guy posted early in the week. Whether you love or hate Trump, as a person or as our president, his speech was about nothing but highlighting all of the good things that have happened or are happening currently in America. Good things for you, for me, for our families, friends, and our peers, for Republicans and for Democrats alike. And Pelosi, she tore it to pieces for the whole world to see on global television. She tore up family stories of hope and sacrifice. She tore up that baby who survived on neonatal care at 1 pound. She tore up Kayla's death at the hands of ISIS. She tore up honoring a 100-year-old Tuskegee Airman.
That was cool, by the way.
Yeah, it was very cool. She tore up scholastic scholarships for underprivileged youth. She tore up honoring a man who was dying of stage 4 cancer with this nation's highest civilian honor. She tore up tributes to this country's military and first responders, some who have died, and coincidentally put their lives on the line for everyday people, including none other than Pelosi herself. Think of the symbolism in all of that. If I were a Democrat, I'd be trying to distance Pelosi as far away as possible from my party right now. She has absolutely no class whatsoever.
Now, her thing was, she said that everything he was saying about the statistics that he put out and stuff were lies, and that's why she was tearing it up. But thing is that she didn't. This one was all lies. This one was not. She just tore it all up. She's not right. She's not right. I thought she said that if he got acquitted, that she was resigning.
Well, you know, and they were all going to move to Canada when
All those,
he won.
yeah, all those movie stars were supposed to move to Canada. We're still waiting on that.
So that we had a couple more things we could touch on, but we're running kind of long this week with all the stories, so maybe we'll save them for next week. But obviously, that was probably the biggest thing, controversial-wise, in politics this week, was her ripping up that speech. And you know, people were wanting her charged because there's some type of law saying that you can't.
No, I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think they should do
ridiculous,
that. But she's standing firm behind that. They've tried to get her to apologize for it, and she won't. And she should say, I was overwrought. This whole thing, I'm tired from all the impeachment stuff, and I shouldn't have done it, and I apologize. And that would have made her a much bigger person. I still wouldn't like her.
You know, I don't think we covered it, but when their group actually voted to impeach Trump weeks ago, I don't think we covered it, but they had commemorative pins made for the occasion.
Yeah, and they cheered.
It's it's crazy stuff like that
I don't.
It's crazy to me that, you know, that the left can be like, the right is so intolerant and they're mean and they're evil. And then every week we see some type of craziness out of them. And
I would want to see, though, if the State of the Union speeches, like when Obama was in, did the Republicans all sit down for those two and not cheer?
They're not
Now, I
making a
heard
big show,
there was one Democrat that was chiding some of the other Democrats for not standing through some of that stuff. And I wish I remember who that was, because I like him now.
Well, that's all we got for the show this week. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Got a special treat for you probably later this week. Joe's making a music video.
It's okay. I'm not singing.
Yeah, no.
we
You get enough of that for a snippet for the Florida State.
Yeah, you don't want any more of that.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. Take
See
care.
you later.
This land wasn't made for you and me. This land